When you form a bond with an animal, there's nothing that can be done to fill that void once they're gone.
In war, milliseconds decide who lives and who doesn't. For military veteran Steve Welch, those milliseconds belonged to a German shepherd named Benny. Welch served in Afghanistan as a bomb dog handler, working alongside Benny, an explosives detection dog trained to find what human eyes cannot.
He saved my life twice in a combat zone.
Twice, Benny identified lethal threats before Welch reached them. Twice, that training kept Welch alive. In combat, that relationship isn't sentimental, it's operational. Trust is not optional, and separation is not part of the plan. But when Welch's deployment ended, there was no formal transition, no closure. Benny was reassigned. Welch went home. The partnership that had meant survival ended without a goodbye.
To be able to say goodbye one more time. I was just trying to get the message out so that maybe somebody could locate him for me and I could reunite.
Back in the United States, Welch tried to find the dog he had depended on in war. He created a Facebook page, he spoke to local media, he followed every lead he could. Years later, he finally found a photograph of Benny online, posted by a nonprofit that assists veterans. For a moment, it looked like the search was over. It wasn't. Benny had already been adopted. By then, Welch had rebuilt his life on the surface. He became a police officer with Veterans Affairs in New York, but the loss of that bond remained unresolved. Not because Benny was a pet, but because he was a constant presence in an environment where nothing else was stable. Operation Buildup could not reunite Welch with Benny. What they could do was recognize the gap that bond had left behind. Instead of providing a vehicle or housing, what the organization typically does, they chose a different form of support. They matched Welch with a female German shepherd whose temperament and focus mirrored what he had once relied on. The introduction was not dramatic, it was quiet. Welch struggled to speak at first, then he said simply, "This feels awesome, she's beautiful." He later named her Kimber. Kimber was never meant to replace Benny. She represents something else, continuity.
I felt I owed it to him to be able to say goodbye one more time.
Proof that connection, once forged under pressure, does not disappear. It waits for another place to land.
As veterans, we feel pain and experience things that the average person might not experience. Today was an amazing opportunity to put a smile on his face.
Some of the most enduring wounds of war are not visible, and some of the most effective forms of healing do not come from institutions, but from presence. This is one story among many. Continue watching as we honor the veterans and the working dogs whose service does not end when the war does.